Hello everybody and welcome to the winter garden done by herself. This is her in all of her glory. There's a few over here I'm going to highlight too, but I just wanted to give a quick tour of the winter garden. This is my very first year doing a winter garden, so I'm super excited about it. I wanted to keep it easy mode, and that's basically what I've done. I didn't plant too much, but there is a few things that I want to go over before I start showing you guys what's in here. So, everything in the garden has been planted from seed. I did not buy anything from Lowe's this year. Everything is from seed. We do have a couple of different varieties of each plant, but I do want to say I believe that where we're at right now from seed, it's been about 6 to 8 weeks. I did start later in the season. You're supposed to start, so for my zone is 8A over down here in Georgia, and I should have started late August, like early September, but I kind of fell behind a little bit. And I decided to start late September, early October. I know I probably shouldn't have done that, but it's okay. We're gonna see what's going on here. Everything's growing pretty nicely anyways. How did I treat the soil? The soil was treated not only with mushroom compost, in-ground soil from the summer garden, but also in-ground soil. It's an organic soil that I decided to put on top and mix everything in. I did sow the ground before I put anything in here. As you can see, non-existent anymore. I've not kept up with the weed treatment at all. I kind of let the weeds take over. I probably shouldn't have done that. I'm gonna pull some later this week, and it's basically taken about 6 to 8 weeks to get to this point. All right, now that we've gone over the winter basics, let me walk you through what's in the garden today. So right here, I'm sitting next to a big, beautiful red Russian kale. I planted this one obviously first. It is the biggest. I didn't direct sow this. This was actually in the summer garden, and I transplanted it from the summer garden over here because the summer garden was not getting any sun anymore because, you know, the earth rotates. We always have to switch up the summer garden and the winter garden locations. So the red Russian kale, this is going to be great in pestos. This is great in soup. It is a flat leaf variety, as you can see. So I wouldn't per se say that it's good raw. I don't really prefer this one raw. I prefer it more cooked, like maybe even in quesadillas, soups, and then sauteed with any other veggie that you want. So because I didn't find this kale to be that versatile, I planted 1, 2, and then 3. These are gonna be blue dwarf curly kales. I prefer this variety because I think it's a lot more versatile. I also feel like the flavor is a little bit better as well, and I prefer to eat this one raw. And honestly, that's what I love about gardening too, is you can literally plant whatever you want that you can't find in a grocery store, or you feel like you just want to try it. See if you like it. That way you don't have to buy it, and you can actually get like the kind of experience of growing it yourself. So that's what I love about planting. You can do anything that you want to. So let's go on to the next one. Over here, let's kind of pull these away. Uh-oh, it looks like something's been munching in here. Ooh. So kale is a cool season crop that can be planted from February to April, depending on your zone, and then from July to September to October, depending on your zone. And for more information about when you want to plant your crops, you can go on to allthingsgirly.org. I created a whole entire 2024 guide for you to look at to see how and when you want to plant each variety of crops. There's probably over like 150 different plants on there that you can look from. I'll put the description or a little kind of like clip of it right here, and that way you can look at it. So the next plant in the garden is going to be Swiss chard. Now, personally, I have never eaten Swiss chard, so we shall see. I still haven't even picked anything off.
Swiss chard is a type of mustard which is also part of the brassica family, just like kale. There are several different types of Swiss chard, but this specific variety is going to be pink Swiss chard. Swiss chard is also a cool weather crop, so it's going to grow just like kale in the garden. Here's my bushel of peas. I believe that there's about 3 or 4 pea plants in here, most of which are random peas that I've never tried. I'm almost positive the varieties are Early Frost, Green Arrow peas, and Little Marvel, all of which are great raw or steamed, and I specifically chose Little Marvel because it's supposed to be more on the sweet side. I've also decided to let the peas climb up on this small trellis I got from the Dollar Tree.
Okay, so now the next two are gonna be my absolute favorite. So cute this year. Oh my God, they're on the other side of the garden, so let's go over there.
The first most beautiful one is my baby Bok Choy. Bok choy is actually considered a Chinese cabbage, and it was first cultivated in China during the 15th century. It tastes more like a mild cabbage more than a regular cabbage, and I do wish I had planted more, but the seeds were a little bit harder to germinate at 2 to 3 weeks. The variety of cabbage I planted is called Fairy's Round Dutch. These have small, compact heads, and they reach, when full maturity, about 3 to 5 pounds. The smallest plants I have are going to be the Waltham 29 broccoli and cauliflower. These are the smallest because I planted them during the first week of October. I'm hoping that they're going to thrive, but I will give everybody an update shortly.
I had to move away from the garden because the sun was beaming in my face and I couldn't take it anymore. I was about to flip out. Anywho, so a little bit about the kohlrabi and then the turnips that I planted. So those were planted in loose soil in a makeshift kind of raised bed, because with root vegetables you need to have a loose soil. I can't just plant it in clay soil like I would here in Georgia with any other plant, because the root itself is not going to grow in that type of soil because it's so dense. So I need something that's very loose and like not compact at all. So that's why I chose the raised bed to do the turnips and then the kohlrabi. With that being said, I did use, for the soil itself, I used a little bit of soil from the summer garden because it was so good. And then I used coconut husks that are kind of dehydrated and you just put water in it. I used in-ground soil and then mushroom compost. Then I fertilize every 2 weeks with a fertilizer that is high in phosphorus and potassium because we want the root to develop. With a fertilizer that has high amounts of potassium and phosphorus, it'll allow the root to become more developed instead of something that's high in nitrogen that will allow the green leaves to develop.
And the types I planted are white Vienna kohlrabi and purple top white globe turnips. And an interesting fact about kohlrabi is it was actually cultivated from wild cabbage in Germany, which is why it's related to the German turnip. And then these are the random carrots I planted.
And that is everything that's been in the winter garden. Thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys later on in the season when I update everybody about how big everything got, if the peas flowered, and if the cauliflower and broccoli in fact grew to full size. So I will see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching. Bye.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.